is that experience, the division is tough this year, but to make the playoffs, is that experience you've had through years of playing in these important December games going to help with them?
I think so. Definitely doesn't hurt to have that experience, and guys that have that experience, guys that have been in this league for quite some time. Relying on that and relying on each other. But again, the best thing that we can do is have a good week of practice and put forth our best effort on Sunday.
Kind of going along those lines, Josh, you guys are 12-1 in December over the last 3 years. So when the calendar flips here, you guys have kind of played your best football when you needed it most. Has anything stood out to you about late season, your approach that has allowed that type of success?
I don't know the statistics or anything like that. I'm assuming that we've done a good job of protecting the football. And especially at games at home, being able to use cadence and making sure that we're communicating well. I think that helps. But we got a daunting task this week against a team that's playing really well. Obviously, Joe coming back is a huge spark for them. And it's going to be all hands on deck.
Staying with the process to find some consistency over this last month. Does the process ever need to be tweaked, though, to kind of bounce back better after a win?
I don't know about tweaked, but again, I think having that experience of what we were just talking about and understanding when to push, when to pull back. And I think Coach does such a good job, especially with taking care of the guys over the course of the week. Obviously, you guys see that it's mostly a walkthrough today, but trying to stay fresh and continue to stay fresh later in the season because, it's a long schedule. And I think some teams may feel the effects of that, but, our strength staff and our training staff do such a good job of making sure that guys are ready to go on game days.
Is there anything more that stands out about him during this department on this run over the last
Nice. Again, I think his approach to the game, it's very consistent throughout the week. He continues to impress. He continues to do things the right way. If you watch the tape, if he doesn't get the ball, he's the first one down on the field, following the ball, running after it. I think he's become a true professional football player, and he's, again, one of the best, if not the best, back in the league when he's got the ball in his hands.
How much do you think, how much do you, the whole contract process that kind of that weird, how much do you think getting paid and getting that validation drove him or motivated him further in some ways?
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys. Again, that's why he fits this culture, and why he's here is because he's not the guy that's going to get paid and not work hard, right? He understands that he got that contract for what he's going to do, not for what he did. And he continues, again, day in and day out to work extremely hard, be a true pro, be in the training room, working on his body and doing things the right way.
Along those lines, Josh, outside of James being really good, what else has led to you guys having the number one rushing attack in the league at this point?
I think it's obviously our O-line doing a great job, but it's our skill position players too, the willingness to go in there and block and get hands on, safeties and stars and linebackers. And, we're asking our tight ends to do a lot in the run game, and they've done it exceedingly well, and we're going to continue to need that moving forward, especially once the weather gets like the weather it gets here. Being able to run it when the opposing team knows that we're going to run it. And, that comes down to execution, making sure guys are in the right spots and for my sake, making sure that I can help with that process as much as possible.
Josh Christian Benford said this week that when teams or players trash talk you, kind of activates a different character. Do you feel like you become somebody else when that kind of part of the game starts happening?
I don't know if becoming someone else is the right term, but it definitely, it fires me up a little bit and brings out the competitive juices. And, that's why I love this game so much, because you have the opportunity to fully express yourself.
Cam said he was in the stomach by you. Is that what happened?
Listen, I got a lot of respect for Cam Hayward, but we're on to the Bengals.
What do you cherish about games like this, late in the season, John mentioned backs up against the wall. What do you cherish about that?
I mean, it makes your decisions, it makes your practice habits all that more meaningful. When it feels like there's a lot of pressure, as the saying goes, pressures can make diamonds, and burst pipes and make diamonds. I think that's how it goes. I'm not fully sure how it goes, but I mean, it's the best time to play football. It's when the stakes are high and you got to go out there and you got to perform your job. And I feel like that's a big part of this team. We want that pressure. We want to go out there. We want to perform for each other and share that love that we have for each other.
Josh, last week you talked about a heightened sense of urgency. Going into another week, how do you keep that level up to not have this win-loss kind of roll?
Again, I think the 1 week at a time mindset of this is the most important game that we're going to play all season because it's the one in front of us, and just making sure that we're having a good week of practice. And I know coach is taking care of us today, but if we get the pads on tomorrow, making sure that we're going full speed and we can get that timing, we can on defensive side hit our run fits and see what type of game plan that they have, and but again, that's the veteran leadership that we have in this locker room that are going to make sure that we're doing the right things.
Josh, the is 32nd in the NFL and yards allowed. What have you seen from them on tape that maybe those numbers don't really represent?
Yeah, you don't see that team on film. I see a lot of guys that are playing extremely hard, especially when you bring back your starting quarterback who's one of the best in the league and gives them a revamped kind of life. And they're playing extremely hard. This last game, they had a bunch of turnovers, and we got to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to limit those and keep the ball on our side and in time of possession and making sure we score when we have those opportunities. Yeah, I mean, I think he brings kind of the dog mentality on the offensive side of the ball, goes in there and blocks, does the dirty work in the pass game. Obviously, he's made some really big catches for us this year so far. And again, we're going to continue to need everything that he's got and making sure that I'm on the same page with him and continue to work with him. And again, the trust level is extremely high there. So when he's on the field, I've got no doubts that he's going to go execute what he's given to do. Thank you, guys.
We said